Racial segregation was enforced by the Jim Crow laws until 1965. This led to the Civil Rights Movement, which consisted predominantly of protests, boycotts, and marches. One of the most successful campaigns for desegregation was nonviolent sit-ins, specifically the Greensboro sit-ins at Woolworth's department store in 1960.
I recall it was the 1st of February. My friends and I were sitting in Woolsburg. I seen them, Zell Blair, Frank McCain, David Richmond, and Joe McNeil. I remember eating my sandwich, confused as they made their way to the whites only counter. Nothing. Nobody did nothing. We all just sat there staring at them. Boy, was I proud. Wish I would have had the courage to join them. They damn sure ain't serving though. Heard they stayed out there till the store closed. No service.
The students returned the following day, along with the same calm demeanor, focused on their calculated goal.
Now, people may think we just got up and decided to sit at the lunch counter, but in actuality, the whole affair was calculated. At NCA&T, like most historically black colleges and universities, or HBCUs, there are many on-campus organizations that met, discussing these issues and making plans for action. We deliberately brought the toiletries from Woolworths at first to highlight the hypocrisy of an institution that willingly accepts our money for one service but not another. We also would literally stage the event in order to practice nonviolence and prepare ourselves.
It's just not things we're used to down here. I mean, they come in and they sit down, and we're not used to them sitting down beside us, because I wasn't raised with them. I never have lived with them, and I'm not going to start now.
The role of the HBCUs was crucial in the Civil Rights Movement. They were sites where some of the brightest minds could exchange ideas, learn, and take action. HBCUs informed their students about the injustices in a segregated society, but they also encouraged activism by providing resources such as a vast network of communication, which helped the ideas and information spread quickly and effectively. However, it was not all smooth sailing from there.
Although the counter to this movement was relatively nonviolent, we faced a significant amount of pushback from store owners, white customers, and the Ku Klux Klan.
The sit-ins inspired counter sit-ins from segregationist whites, who would often verbally abuse the activists. Surprisingly, it rarely got physical. The counter-protesters' main tactic was intimidation. Food was thrown, slurs were sung, and shouting ensued, mainly on the part of the whites. Furthermore, segregationist white students would sit down and reserve the seats for other whites. Owners and managers also put up a fight, using their power to try and influence laws and refusing to serve black customers.
Oh, we were nervous, but we were prepared, and we took comfort in knowing that this was part of the plan. When we got arrested, we got yelled at, and we got harassed. But we were ready, and it paid off. Once other outlets got hold of the situation, it spread like wildfire. Some of these got desegregated even before we did. We took a sort of intrinsic pride that day as we ate our meal. It was a rather uneventful happening. We had negotiated the terms of the desegregation with the city on the day before. The media did get a hold of it, after all, but the news really spread through the HBCU community, core and activist community.
The Greensboro sit-ins launched a series of other sit-ins. By mid-May, countless lunch counters nationwide were integrated. This even includes places where sit-ins did not happen. However, the effects of the Greensboro sit-ins did not stop there. It inspired the formation of SYNC, or the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. SYNC was fundamental in the Civil Rights Movement, even going on to popularize the term and idea of Black Power. Greensboro also inspired organizations like CORE to continue with their plans for the Freedom Rides. Overall, the sit-ins set a precedent for a decade of progressive change. They demonstrate a group of people organizing for the reform of social norms that stemmed from and led to legislative atrocities like the Jim Crow laws.